All right, we are here with Tara Davis, who competes for the University of Texas. How are you, young lady?
I'm great.
Because as track fans know, you have had an amazing last few weeks. Before we look at any video or pictures, can you sum this up for us?
Unreal. That's all I can say. I broke two collegiate records and within 2 weeks of each other. Um, I don't think that's ever been done. So I'm still on cloud nine from even jumping that far. The video will show how I react.
Well, let's screen share this. And before we give everyone the details that you're alluding to, let's look at the video as long as the screen share is going to be nice to me. And you can take us through this. This was the number 2 on Sports Center. And here we go.
Perfect 10. How about track and field? Texas's
Wow.
Tara Davis. She broke the records for college.
I was just waiting for that mark. My coach before this, he was like, welcome to the 23-foot club, baby. And I was like, no way. And my my reaction literally just says it all. I'm so excited.
Good reaction. Perfect.
All right, now let me figure out how to get rid of that.
She broke the records for college for Texas relays for Meyer Stadium and the school record.
Yeah, I broke a lot of records within one jump, which is insane. I thought it was insane indoors, but to do it again outdoors, I was like, whoa, what the heck?
Well, take us through that jump. We just saw the jump. What do you think about when you get on the runway as you're headed, uh, to start your run? What do you think about?
I just think about my phases throughout the jump and throughout the run. We've been focusing on my approach, and if my approach is right, then the jump will just carry itself. So I just think of every sixth step, I need to change the gears, and
Mhm.
I just tell myself just launch, just freaking go, just no holding back, just full sprint and jump. Like that's what people like to see, and that's what I love to do. And so it's just like just go for it, have fun.
When you landed, did you know immediately it was special?
I did. I didn't think it was 23.5. I'm maybe thinking like 23 foot, 23.1. So 23.5 definitely shocked me. And the number 714 definitely shocked me because I was just reaching for 7 meters, not anything above. I wasn't prepared for that. Um, But once I got out the pit and my coach mentioned saying, welcome to the 23-foot club, baby, I just knew that it had to be a massive jump.
Well, speaking of that, you've already alluded to this. Let's give people uh, an idea of your couple of weeks.
Yeah.
March 12th, NCAA indoors, you set the collegiate record going 22.9.
Mhm.
Exactly 2 weeks later at Texas Relays, 23.5 1/4. You are the first collegiate woman 23 plus wind legal, and the fifth best wind legal jump by an American woman all time. Has this set in?
I literally have the goosebumps after you said that. I don't think it has. Like, I already changed my goals to what I want to get within the next season or within this season. Um, but it really hasn't set in. Like my goal is only 1 centimeter above my PR because I just did not think that 714 was even possible or reachable. Um, but my coach definitely had some confidence in me and he knew I could do it, but I didn't believe myself.
So, what are your new goals?
715.
Easy enough.
Yeah, just I mean, I've been reaching for 7 meters almost my entire life of long jump.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, jumping it once is amazing, but to jump it 2 times, like that will be even more special than jumping it once, I feel like. Just because I'm consistent in a 23-foot range, 7 meter. Um, but it's like still so surreal. And I had the mark before 23.5 was actually 22.10.
Right.
So I just like, even that, I was like, oh my gosh, like 22.10, that's so big. Like I just broke another record, I just got another PR. But still 23 feet, 7 meters. I have no idea.
And apparently breaking records, I'm going to share the screen again real quickly. Apparently breaking records is a habit, because here's a picture I took several years ago as a senior in high school, I believe, where you broke the indoor mark here in Dallas, 21:11. Do you remember this?
I vividly remember this. Wow. Wow. It didn't like it seemed so long ago, but at the same time, it was just 4 years ago.
Amazing how far you've come, huh?
Yeah. Surprisingly. Yeah.
Now you're also an elite sprint hurdler.
Mhm.
You have to choose sprint hurdles, long jump. Which are you going?
Long jump, for sure. In long jump, I can share my personality. I can express who I am. And on the runway, I just show like all of me and everything of me. And so it's like, I love long jump. I love the feeling of flying. And I get 6 attempts rather than one
Mhm.
race. So I could fix things. That's the technical part of it. But I love hurdles and I've been doing it since I was like 10, 9 or 10. Just long jump was my baby. Been doing it since I was 4. And
Oh
that's what
my.
got me into track. Yeah. So um, definitely long jump.
All right. So critique yourself.
Mhm.
What do you need to work on to reach that next plateau, 7:15?
I could definitely have more speed on the runway and make it a little bit more fluid. Right now it's kind of forcing of like trying to force a habit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an extreme fluid run down the runway. And also like arm placement when I'm taking off and while I'm in the air, and definitely not putting my feet down when I land because I lost some inches for sure.
Okay. So we got to work on the landing, no
Yeah.
doubt. Now, as most track fans know, out of high school, you committed to Georgia. Now you're here at Texas. So, what has the change of scenery done for you mentally?
Um, the way Austin works is kind of like LA,
Mm-hmm.
which is fast paced. There's always commotion and motion. And I feel like that gets me going out of my house and like wanting to do things. When I was at Georgia, it was a college town and it was
Right.
small. And I would stick to the same places. I would stick to a routine, like of who I hang out with, of where I go. And with Austin, there's so many things that you can do. And just like every day is like a different vibe and energy. And Austin's so cool with track practice. At the first year, 2 years I was here, it was very low. And during COVID, obviously we didn't do anything, but
Right.
once season kicked off, you saw a change in everyone. So I would definitely say the team environment, really, they're amazing people and amazing athletes. So being around them and hearing their goals pushes me to reach my goals. And training with these pro athletes such as Kenny and Shaquila, I see my future within them. And so like it really helps me like push towards my goal.
Fair enough. So, Austin really does fit your personality a lot
Mhm.
better.
Yeah, definitely.
And training with the professionals, obviously, this is an Olympic year.
Mhm.
Safe to say this is in the back of your mind.
Yes, very much so. It's on my board. Make the Olympic team.
And just how sweet would that be to now have Olympian next to your name?
That has been my goal ever since I started running track. I wanted to see the Olympic rings, to hold the USA flag up on the Olympic standard. And that my dream would literally come true. And it would be so sweet to just make it to the Olympics. Like once I'm there, like, okay, you guys let me in here. I'm going to go full blast on you guys. But that's a different story until I get there. But making the Olympic team would after like transferring and being like injured all these times, it would just be so bittersweet to make that team and finish my journey strong.
So is it safe to assume you're now 100% healthy?
Yes, 100% mentally and physically.
Beautiful. There was, after you broke the outdoor record, which was Jackie Joyner Kersey's, a lot on Twitter, and there was a young lady, and I'm hitting myself because I did not screenshot it, but she was a high school kid, and she flat out said that you are, and I quote, her inspiration.
I got chills again.
Do you relish the idea of being a role model for the high school kids? Do you ever think about that?
You know, I get a lot of those comments, and I come to my head, I'm like, how can me? Like, I know who I am. Like, how am I an inspiration to all these kids? And then I put myself in their shoes and I was like, well, Brittany Reese was my inspiration. So like I'm now a Brittany Reese for me to other kids. And it's just like so inspiring for me that I get to inspire others. So it just makes me like work even harder and like never give up, because I wouldn't want my idol to ever give up. And just knowing that they can do so many big things, like I wouldn't want that to be in their head either.
Well, and there's a lot of great Texas ladies, in the horizontal jumps. What in high school, what advice would you have for them other than simply not to give up?
Have fun with it. Like, stressing about it and being so hard on yourself it's just gonna be mentally abusing yourself. And like, literally, if you just go out and have fun, I promise you will succeed in your event, in any event you run, but in jump specifically, you will succeed. You will understand like the benefits and like the love of track that you have if you're just having fun. If you're stressing about it, it's not going to be fun anymore. And it's just going to take away from the sport itself.
Have you met your hero, Miss Reese?
I have.
What was that like when you went up to her?
Well, I can't remember the specific time. It was either when I went to Chula Vista Training Center,
Okay.
or when I went to the Olympic trials when I was like 17 and she was sitting right next to me. I did not do well at the Olympic trials when I was 17. I was so shocked about how many like inspirations and all like the jumpers I look up to just like in my vicinity. And I was competing with them and I was like, okay, wow, this is so cool. Like, I was just mind blown on like
You were starstruck.
Yeah, for sure, starstruck.
That's amazing. All right. So when do you compete next?
I think April 16th, if I'm not mistaken, which is the Baylor invite,
Okay.
or April 24th, the LSU track meet.
All right. Well, the season's going fast, and soon
Yeah.
enough, the NCAA outdoors are going to be here, Olympic trials, et
Boom,
cetera, et
Olympic
cetera.
trials, yeah.
Tara,
My coach just actually told me today that we will not be coming back to Austin, Texas after NCAAs, because it's
well, that
such a
makes
quick
sense.
turnaround. Yeah.
That makes sense. Tara, we appreciate you after now getting your first vaccination shot this evening, spending there you go, spending some time with us. You've had an incredible couple of weeks. Best of luck the rest of the season. Best of luck for the Olympics. Stay healthy, because we want to see a lot more of your personality down that runway.
Thank you so much.
You have a wonderful evening, young lady.
You too.
Thanks.
Milo.